Hey guys, my name is Caleb. I am also a member of the dorm here, Dorm Debate. I wasn't able to be here last week, but I'm glad to join you guys now. We have a lot in store for episode 2 of Dorm Debate, going over all the stuff that went on in week 9, ranging from midseason MVP, Elliott suspension, the trade deadline stuff going on with Ajayi, and Garoppolo as well. So a lot going on tonight. I'm going to pass it to Jared to start us off with stuff going on in the trade deadline.
All right, what's up, guys? Glad to be back for week 9, episode 2. A lot of trades going on. We had Calvin Benjamin to the Bills. We had Garoppolo to the 49ers. The one that I picked was Calvin Benjamin to the Bills. One of the reasons is the Bills have an awful receiving core. Their most receiving yards for a player is Charles Clay with 258 yards, which is just pitiful. I mean, if you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, Antonio Brown's their leader with 835 yards receiving. That's pitiful. It's awful. So Calvin Benjamin comes in. He's got 475 yards receiving, 32 receiving yards, 15 yards per game. And that's almost double what Bill's top receiver has. He's going to get a lot of playing time. He's going to get a lot of receptions. It's going to help him a lot with the receiving yards. He will bring the most impact and also bring the most impact to a playoff team that has a great runner in LaShawn McCoy. And that's all I got, actually. I list my stats.
It was a good trade then.
Oh, I would, out of 5, I'd give this trade a 6.
It was a good addition for the Bills.
It was a well-needed trade,
yeah.
And they gave up next to nothing for it.
Yeah, they didn't
next
give
to
up
nothing.
a lot. And Clay, the leading receiver, he's been injured the last 2 or 3 weeks, and he's still the leading receiver.
And he's still the leader.
And who's number 2 on the team?
Number 2 is LaShawn McCoy, their running back.
Yeah,
that's baffling to me. That's
crazy.
And they're 5-2, and they have a crappy receiving. So imagine them with above average receiving core. Like, he's gonna bring so much talent to the receiving end. That's why I think I picked him as one of the best trades thus far.
Yeah, I mean, the coach for the Bills, he's in his first season, Sean McDermott, and he recently came from Carolina. He was on the Carolina coaching staff last year. So he brought in Benjamin, and he knew Benjamin. He coached him, and he brings him into Buffalo. And there you go. Their defense is playing well, and he knows Benjamin. And the first thing he said when Benjamin was traded, he's our top wide receiver. So they're going to look to get him the ball.
Yeah, what's strange to me is that Carolina could still make the playoffs. So it's very surprising that you would take your top receiver, especially with Cam Newton, who's not, like, the best throwing. Like, he needs a good receiver on the other end to catch the ball. So I'm very surprised that they would trade him to the Bills.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because, I don't know, it kind of seems like they're giving up, but not really. I mean, Newton has 10 touchdown passes and 11 interceptions this year.
Haven't been playing well.
No. And now they trade away their top wide receiver. Like, now Funchess is number one.
Yeah.
Olsen's hurt. Like, I don't know what's going on with them. But
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for the Panthers, but all I got to say is you better watch out for those Bills. All right. Well, Ajayi, he got traded to the Eagles, and I think that's really good for the Eagles. They're already 7-1 with a booming Carson Wentz, and that addition takes off pressure from Carson Wentz. So I think teams in the NFC should be worried, especially NFC East teams, because this team is going far. Ajayi last year in 2016 had over 1,000 yards rushing, and this season he hasn't done too well because of the many injuries on the team, like Jay Cutler. So more pressure's on him.
And plus the whole Dolphins defense.
Yeah.
Offense, I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think the Eagles are in for a good treat this year.
do you think that's really going to help them a lot? Because they still have Blunt, and they still have Smallwood. They have Clement. A lot of people are getting carries.
Right.
So how much do you think this is really going to help them?
I mean, the more the better. They have different running backs that are good in different things. Blunt's more explosive.
Yeah, but well, the more the better. But like you saw the Saints, they had Peterson, Ingram, and Kamara, and that Peterson was getting mad, and that's only 3 running backs.
Right.
The Eagles have Smallwood, Blunt, Clement, and now Ajayi. That's 4. So, like, more is better, yeah, more talent, but, like, is it better because they have a more crowded backfield now?
Well, I gotta say the Eagles are good at using the running backs. Like they had Sproles, and Sproles was pretty good. They know how to use him, and it depends on your coaching. The Saints coach didn't really know how to use Peterson to make him part of the system. I think the Eagles coaching staff's really good. I don't think that should be a problem.
Yeah, I would agree with this move too. Part of what Jonathan was saying in terms of Ajayi being able to also block for Carson Wentz in terms of opening up some passing opportunities for Carson Wentz. Because losing Sproles obviously hurt the Eagles a lot, but the switch between Blunt and Smallwood and the other running backs was kind of a tell to the other teams of what the play was going to be. Because Blunt, I look at him as more of the kind of blunt force, going right down the middle, like shoving it down their throats in terms of the run game, whereas Ajayi is more of a not as big, blunt, but fast, agile, and still able to be that kind of blunt force while also being able to block. So I think he's also a good piece to this already kind of blossoming offense, doing better than I thought they would do.
Right.
As well as the fact that the Eagles barely gave up anything for one of the Dolphins' best players. They had 3 fourth-round picks, and they gave up their second fourth-round pick for a guy who's picked in the 5th. I mean, whether he does well or not, that's pretty good deal. I mean, I think the upside outweighs the risk in this case.
Yeah. So moving on to the third biggest trade in the deadline, Jimmy Garoppolo. What do you guys think? Do you think it was a good deal for the 49ers?
Well, let me say this. He won't win him a Super Bowl, but in like the next 5 years he won't. I honestly, I don't have enough games on him, to be honest. That's all I can say. I literally, he's had nothing to base him off of.
I think there's great potential in Garoppolo, and you know who Aaron Rodgers played? He backed up Brett Favre. So Garoppolo backed up Tom Brady, which is one of the greats, and Brett Favre was also one of the greats. So I think Garoppolo, he could be pretty good in the next few years, and potentially probably win the Super Bowl. So that's what I think.
I mean, I would have pieces from both of you guys that I honestly haven't seen Garoppolo play a lot, other than
Tom Brady's suspension.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that like pops out with his throwing, with his running. It's like it looks like an average backup quarterback to me.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think he's not really big. He doesn't have a great arm. It's very like average. It like kind of like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Just you're gonna get what you're gonna get with him. You know.
I mean, he could be. I really can't form an opinion just because I haven't seen him play a lot. But I would say over the years that kind of what Jonathan was saying, that he was supposed to be kind of the next heir to the Patriots franchise, and they've been building him up for years. So it does say a lot to how the Patriots are viewing Tom Brady's role in the next couple of years, is despite being 40 to be his consistent next quarterback for the franchise for the next couple of years. And they did get Brian Hoyer as backup for now. So I think for the 49ers, this was a great trade that they can build around Garoppolo and start, building from the ground up. And all I can say is that a lot of people, as well as Belichick and Brady, have sang Garoppolo's praises. So I can only assume that he's good, as well as they've seen him play and seen him do stuff. So I think, all in all, this is a good trade for the 49ers. It says a lot about the risk they're kind of taking with Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. But, it just shows that they're thinking a couple years ahead, even without Garoppolo.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird because with the 49ers being last, they're going to get first or second pick, maybe third. But you have so many good quarterbacks coming up from college. Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold.
And they just traded their second pick in the second round, or top pick in the second round.
Right, so...
Right. Which would have been a 33rd, 34th.
I mean,
yeah.
Garoppolo, like, if I was 49ers and I was rebuilding, I would want somebody that your team, your coach, your GM picked, like hand-picked, not somebody that another team picked. That it's a big risk because with the limited film on him, I mean, why wouldn't you get a rookie who's developed in the college? I mean, half of them are seniors and juniors. They're not freshmen or sophomore. I mean, you pick up like a Josh Rosen. I feel like Josh Rosen is more developed than Jimmy Garoppolo because, I mean, looking at his passing yards at UCLA, I mean, he has like a special talent, but with Garoppolo, it's just an average quarterback. He doesn't have special plays. Just, you're gonna get what you're gonna get.
I think great coaches make great quarterbacks, and Garoppolo's been on the Patriots for a few years, and been taking in the knowledge from Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, which is probably one of the greatest coaches ever in NFL history. And as opposed to the college quarterbacks, I mean, college is not the NFL. I mean, there's different tactics and different tricks you have to know, and Garoppolo, being under Bill Belichick, knows probably more than the rookies that are coming in. So I think Garoppolo is a good pick. I think it's a good rebuilding for the 49ers.
I think it's good for. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback, but what I think is that the reason they made this trade and gave up a second-round pick is because Kyle Shanahan, it's his first season there, and he's supposed to be known for a great offensive mind, and they're 0-8. So I think it's more of him trying to be. I don't want to say desperate, but he kind of is desperate because he's 0-8 and he needs a quarterback because he needs to win some games to prove himself and keep his job safe.
So you think this is temporary, not long term?
I think this is temporary. I think this is more for the rest of the season so he could keep his job.
Now, what I would suggest is drafting a quarterback like Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson, that would battle for the QB spot, because with the 49ers, I don't know who their backup is. Do you know who their backup is? Like, obviously it's not good.
It was a rookie quarterback. I don't know.
Oh, CJ.
Well, Breathard is starting now.
Yeah, CJ Beathard
so I think they're
from
gonna
Iowa.
Under with him as the backup. You know, they already have a rookie right now.
Yeah, but I just don't see. I feel like you have the number one pick. You pick a good quarterback that can.
Garoppolo is pretty good. I mean, like I said.
But with no film on him, you're basically at the end of the season you're gonna go off of the next 8 games, and if he does bad, now you're in a situation where you just traded your second round pick for a potential backup, temporary, like Brian Hoyer, like what they just had that they released.
I mean, he's been, like I said, he's been the Patriots backup for a while, and the Patriots they have pretty good management. They wouldn't keep him as a backup if they knew he wasn't really that good.
Yeah. All in all, I would just say I think the 49ers are taking a risk. I don't think giving a second round indicates that they were thinking about keeping him for the short term. Now, a lot does have to be said. I'm sure they've looked at film, but really it'll come down to how he plays probably next year.
The next 8 games are crucial to
we'll see.
staying there.
We'll see. So why don't we move on to the next topic of discussion, is the Ezekiel Elliott kind of Cowboys suspension and what's going on. What do you guys think is going to be the next step that the Cowboys will be kind of doing?
Well, I mean, they did another injunction, you know. So, I mean, I guess he could play this Sunday against Kansas City. They're trying to do as much as they can to keep him on the field, but eventually he may get suspended. But even if he does, I think Cowboys are still in for a good treat. You know why? Because the Cowboys line improved like 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and that was like around 2013. 2013, their starting running back was DeMarco Murray. He had over 1,000 yards. 2014, starting running back DeMarco Murray. He had over 1,000 yards. 2015,
that's DeMarco Murray.
Starting running back 2015, Darren McFadden. He had over 1,000 yards. 2016, Ezekiel Elliott. He had over 1,000 yards. So it's a Cowboys
You're
line.
naming all these good running backs.
Well, Darren McFadden's still on there. Alfred Morris is on there with our O-line.
Wait, hold on.
Still be good.
Explain me this. Jerry Jones just said that Alfred Morris will be the lead back.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on. He'll be the lead back, right? If Darren McFadden had over 1,000 yards, you're saying?
Yeah.
Why isn't he the starter?
What do you mean? Because Zeke's the starter. That's why.
No, when Zeke is suspended, Jerry Jones said Alfred Morris will be the starting running back. Why isn't it McFadden? He got over 1,000 yards.
Because Alfred Morris is better.
Then why didn't they start Alfred Morris when that season when they didn't have a running back?
Alfred Morris was on the team. He was on the Redskins.
What year did he have 1,000 yards?
Darren McFadden?
Yeah.
2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So the point is, the Cowboys' offensive line is good. So it doesn't matter who's in the backfield. Any average running back can nick over 1,000 yards and then keep the pressure off of Dak. So with Zeke out, I don't think there's too much pressure on Dak or anything. So.
I do think that underscores a little bit about how good Ezekiel Elliott is as a special running back.
Right.
I would say, as an Eagles fan, that the O-line does make running backs a lot easier, a lot more able to do their job.
Right.
And definitely the numbers have gone to prove it. But I do think the Cowboys' offense as a whole really relies on the authoritative running that Elliott does, and if other teams are able to figure out these other running backs who have maybe different styles, who honestly I don't think are as special as Ezekiel Elliott, I think the Cowboys are going to have to adjust, or I think they're going to struggle a little bit, assuming the suspension holds, or if it doesn't get delayed any longer, or whatever the situation goes on. But I think without Elliott, there is going to be a little struggle for the whole offense as well as the team.
I think a new star is going to appear with Alfred Morris. He's going to be reborn again. With the Cowboys' offensive line, everybody's going to see.
Wait, can we confirm that Elliott's suspended for 6 games because they rejected his thing? They rejected it, so he's out 6 games.
I mean, well, they're still trying to delay, so he could potentially play this Sunday, but still, I mean, he's going to end up missing 6 games. But either way,
very unlikely. Very
well, even if it is, it doesn't matter. We have somebody else.
All right, All right, listen to this. Alfred Morris, he's since 2012. These are his rushing yards: 1,600, 1,275, 1,074, 751, 243, and 105. So he's been declining every year. How do you think he's going to have a great year this year?
Those past 2 seasons, Zeke was starting, including this season. He said
so
2017 also. Zeke's still starting.
On the Redskins.
The point is, the Cowboys' offensive line is good. Anytime he starts, he's going to get over 1,000 yards. Put him in the backfield, please. Somebody do it.
You think he's going to have over 1,000 yards this season?
Well, it's probably too late, like with 8 games left, but he's going to have
so
a lot.
8 games,
he's gonna do
you think he's going to have 800 yards?
He's going to do decent, I think.
What's
I mean,
decent? What do you consider decent?
I can see him having around 708 yards the rest of the
700 yards?
It's possible.
In 8 games?
It's possible. With the Cowboys offensive line, anything's possible.
If they're splitting it up with the other running backs,
that's true.
I don't know if he's going to get that number.
Yeah, right.
Dude, he's going to be so rusty.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Why do you think it's being rusty?
He has 13 attempts this year.
13 attempts, then 69 last year.
Because Zeke has been starting.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you're sitting on the bench or standing on the sidelines.
Well, you're practicing. That's what football is. You're practicing, but you're not playing 1 game of the week.
So how come,
you practice every single day.
So how come when I said Nick Foles is ready to play, you're like, no, he's not starting. He's practicing.
He's the backup.
So you can't just say.
What do you mean?
I said Nick Foles should go in at quarterback for the Packers, and you said he's not ready or whatever. You just said they're practicing.
Well, it is too late now because of the trade deadline. But now we're talking about Zeke. And what I'm saying is, or now we're talking about the Cowboys, and what I'm saying is the Cowboys' offensive line can make any decent running back look really good. That's what I'm saying. So without Zeke, I think there's no problem.
I mean, I guess that's just something that time will tell. Really, there's real speculation at this point. It is a pretty good offensive line, though. I don't know. I think Dak's a really good quarterback, but a little conservative that really did rely on the run game. So, if they can get the run game going, then I assume the Cowboys can keep their march on to the possible playoffs or whatever end for them. But that's if the run game goes without Elliott for 6 games, assuming the suspension holds.
Yeah. I just want to make a bold statement that losing Ezekiel Elliott will confirm my assumption 2 weeks ago that the Cowboys will not make the playoffs. I just wanted to confirm that on the podcast.
I backed that up.
John backs that up as well.
I wanted to remind them.
Yeah, and just last thing to keep in mind. Since 2013, every starting running back has had over 1,000 yards on the Cowboys. Enough said.
Well, moving on to the next subject of discussion.
So serious.
There's really nothing to be said. It's such a strong opinion.
Yeah.
Time will tell. Next topic that we wanted to talk about was the Martavis Bryant situation on the Steelers, as well as what he's been saying, as well as the situation not having played last week. What's going on? What do you guys think the Steelers should do with the trade line gone and not really any options for should they play him? Should they what should go on?
I think they should have traded him and got a good deal out of it. He's obviously not useless to the Steelers, and Schuster's doing really good, so there's no point of them keeping him. So I think they should have took the best they could have got during the trade, but now I don't know what they should do because the trade deadline's gone. So
yeah, it doesn't help that he said those things, and then the next week Schuster had one of his best games, or if not the best game. So it doesn't help
of his career.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't
far.
help.
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of like a virus that spreads when you have a player on your receiving core that doesn't want to be there, and he comes to practice, and then he comes to the games, and he just like kills the vibe of everybody.
Yeah,
and especially when he degrades a wide receiver, especially a rookie. Like, why would you do that to a rookie that is insanely good? And to do that to your own team is ridiculous. It's just not. You want him off your team immediately because he doesn't want to play for you guys. It's evident that he doesn't want to play.
I mean, he wasn't playing, so it's fine for him to say something, but you don't say it like he said it, like coming out on social media. You talk to the coaches and you try to see what you could do better. Because now he's back to the practice squad, and the coach. I think the coaches handled it right. If he's going to come out on social media and do that, then he's got to be not playing, and they don't even need him because Smith-Schuster has been doing really well.
Well, in terms of what Martavis Bryant said, I think he should just shut up because they've thrown to him the most and he's caught the least. His stats have been terrible, so I mean he's just talking at this point. You have to prove yourself, and Schuster has proved himself. So Martavis Bryant should just shut his mouth.
Martavis Bryant he's proved himself. I mean,
no, he hasn't.
Yes, he has. Look at in 10 games. In 2014, he had 8 touchdowns. In 10 games.
2014.
Yeah. And then the year after that, in 11 games, he had 6 touchdowns. This is the only year that he's been declining, and it's because they're not giving him as much of the, their throws. They're giving it to Le'Veon Bell a lot and Brown a lot.
And by the way, in 2014, he only had over 500 yards, which is
He
okay.
played 10 games out of 16.
Well, the next year he had 765.
He only played
okay.
11 games. Out of
Doesn't matter.
16. What
All
do you
right,
mean it doesn't matter?
Well, what about this year?
This year, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's because they're not using him.
His
That's
stats, his stats on average have been decent.
And you're gonna base Smith-Schuster off of just like a couple games.
Well,
You're always the one to say that you want to talk about history, and now you're saying that he's not playing well, and Smith-Schuster's a lot better because he just played a couple games and he just had a really good game. You're always saying that you have to look back on history. When we were talking about Romo, you were saying the 14 season. You got to look
Morris.
Well, Schuster's he's only been in the league for this year, and so far he's proved himself. I mean, right now there's no need for Martavis Bryant, as you can see. I mean,
oh yeah, I think to the future, yeah, but I don't know if I was the Steelers, maybe you try to trade him because considering the stats he's had, it's too late. Yeah,
like Martavis Bryant's definitely one of the better receivers in the league right now. But politically speaking, in terms of a team, it really didn't help that he said. I mean, part of it could be the frustration. And I think he did give some praise to his teammate, but he did say it wrong, and he wasn't right to say it. But I think part of it's the frustration from what he's gotten this season. And yeah, I think the Steelers kind of have something. I don't know if they should play him. You know, with that, like Jared was saying, team dynamics are a huge factor on a team.
Yeah, they won't play him at all. I doubt it.
And there's a lot of better receivers than Martavis Bryant, I believe. So,
going on now to the next topic of discussion is mid-season MVP, as well as rookie mid-season MVP. NFL released their things. What would you guys say is the personal, as well as we'll talk about who actually won those awards.
Okay, so start off mid-season MVP right now is Alex Smith. The Chiefs are second in the league, and they're tied for second in the league in record. Alex Smith, listen to this. Passing yards, he's second. Passing touchdowns, tied for second. 0 interceptions. 16 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. His 69.1 completion percentage is third. Quarterback rating, first. And he's been sacked the 5th most. And Kansas City at 6-2 has scored the most points out of any team. This guy has been leading his team. He's been flawless through 8 games, and he deserves mid-season MVP. Let's see if he could keep it up.
Yeah, I completely agree with John. I think the mid-season MVP is Alex Smith. He's played really well. He's led his team to great victories, especially against the Patriots. He has great weapons like Tyreek Hill and DeAnthony Thomas. So, I mean, he's done really great. But I'd like to lead this to my mid-season rookie of the year. A lot of people would say Kareem Hunt is because of his many yards. He's number 1 rushing running back so far this year. But he has Alex Smith as quarterback. Teams are scared of Alex Smith in the passing game with Kansas City. With Tyreek Hill and DeAnthony Thomas, with those threats, teams are worried about covering the passing first. So that leaves like the running game open for Kareem Hunt. That's why he's done good. So I mean, yeah, he's had a lot of rushing yards, but it's all due in favor to Alex Smith. I think the mid-season MVP is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson has had more pressure, I believe, as a rookie quarterback. He's done pretty good. I mean, against the Seahawks last week, he put up a lot of points against the Legion of Boom, in quotes. I mean, he made those guys look really bad, you know. So even though his team's like around 3-4 or 3-3, I believe individually he's done really good. He's gave his team a chance, even with the many injuries on the Texans.
Wait, you talking about Deshaun Watson as your runner-up for MVP?
Or rookie.
Mid-season rookie of the year.
Oh, mid-season rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that pick. Okay.
You have a mid-season MVP?
My mid-season MVP is someone that literally 0 people picked on the internet, on ESPN, on Fox, CBS. Nobody picked him, and I think that's just ludicrous. Antonio Brown. The man is the heart and soul of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Reading off some stats, in the NFL, number 1 in receiving, number 1 in yards, number 1 in yards per game. He also, for the Steelers, he's 835 yards receiving. And the next one is JUJU Smith with 424. He's doubled the receiving yards for the Steelers. You take him out as a player, your receiving goes down dramatically. I mean, you're talking about most valuable player. The value of Antonio Brown, he's a 99 overall in Madden. I mean, that's unheard of. That's just unheard of. Like, do I need to say more? I mean, that's all I got. I mean, Antonio Brown.
Brown, most valuable player to their team. I think you could talk about Brown. Most valuable player in the league. I wouldn't go with Brown.
Why?
But he's he's been doing really well, but I think there's some better players.
Like, why?
Alex Smith has no interceptions.
But if you think of players that make an impact, it's Antonio Brown. He leads his whole team in all the stats, plus the NFL. And you're talking about value. Would you rather take Alex Smith to start a team, or would you rather take Antonio Brown to start a team?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody would take Antonio Brown, but we're talking about like this year. Everybody would take Alex Smith. Look at these stats. Yeah. Second, no interceptions. Third, first in almost everything, quarterback. So, but it is a good argument for Antonio Brown.
It's hard because we're talking about 2 different positions.
Yeah, it is.
That's the thing. Yeah. He's definitely the most valuable receiver right now. Definitely the best in the league statistically, as well as just watching him play especially with Odell being injured. It's not really a debate, but it does tie into the role of the receiver in terms of the role of the quarterback. But you definitely brought out really good points.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to go back to the midseason rookie, Jonathan. Talked about Deshaun Watson, who has been a great quarterback so far. 19 touchdowns, tied for the league lead with Carson Wentz. But I'm going to go midseason rookie, Kareem Hunt. Right now, Kareem Hunt, he leads the league in yards, leads the league in yards per carry, tied for 6th in the league in rushing touchdown. First in the league in 20-plus yard plays. First in the league in 40-plus yard plays. In 20-plus yard plays, he has 8. The next highest is Tevin Coleman with 5. He had 81 yards and 2 touchdowns against Philadelphia, and they have the best run defense in the NFL. I mean, Deshaun Watson's a good argument, but he has 19 touchdowns and he has 8 interceptions. That's tied for the 5th worst in the league. And you said that teams are worried about Alex Smith and Tyreek Hill, and you mentioned DeAnthony Thomas, who has 7 catches in 8 games this year. 7 catches in 8 games and 85 yards. One of his catches was a 59-yard touchdown. So that's 6 catches for, let's see, 26 yards. Yeah. You think he's a threat? People are worried about him?
He's a speedy threat. He's so fast.
So why aren't they using him more? He has 14 catches in the last 2 years combined. Antonio Brown has that in a game.
Yeah, they're using him, but Tyreek Hill's there, and Travis Kelce is there.
So why didn't you mention Kelce then?
Well, I'm mentioning it now. Travis Kelce's there. So, Alex Smith has 3 powerful receiving threats, and Alex Smith himself is good. He was good on 49ers for some years, and then he came here and was pretty good too. So the teams are worried about the passing game rather than the running game, which gives Kareem Hunt the ability to run the ball like that. So, he's done pretty good, but it's all due in favor to Alex Smith and the strong passing game in Kansas City.
Yeah, but you're basing all of your stats on Deshaun Watson because he played one really good game against Seattle.
Well, no, he's had 2 games under 80 for QBR. Other than that, every other game has been over 100.
Every other game, he's
Yes.
only played like 6 games.
Yeah, over 100 quarterback rating.
He's up and down. If you say he has 2 games under 80 QBR, so that means he has 3 above.
His first 2 NFL games were like that. Maybe just getting his nerves out. It got better. He's gotten better every game. He's gotten better.
I agree with that, and I think that by the end of the season, Deshaun Watson's going to be the Rookie of the Year. That's just my opinion on how their schedule looks and how he's playing right now. He's just insane. But I think if the season ended right now, I would give it to Kareem Hunt.
I mean, I would agree with. Yeah, it almost tipped over. You'll cut that.
Yeah, it's fine.
I would agree with Jonathan actually with his rookie. Well, so far in the midseason, of course, but with the Rookie of the Year, I would also say Deshaun Watson for very similar reasons why. And now I'm biased as an Eagles fan, but for very similar reasons why I would say Carson Wentz is a good argument for MVP, midseason MVP, because they're both quarterbacks who were on teams who really weren't projected to be that amazing this year. So in terms of the value that they as a quarterback, and saying nothing of the fact the quarterback position is one of the most, if not the most influential position on the team. What both those guys are doing to these teams and elevating the status and making them contenders for this year, as well as possibility of building those franchises around them, for me makes them both Carson Wentz and rookie Deshaun Watson the midseason MVPs respectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're saying Deshaun. You're saying Deshaun Watson midseason rookie MVP, Rookie of the Year so far. His team is 3-4. He's had 2 games under 80 QBR. Yeah, he's starting to get going, but how could you not give it to Kareem Hunt? He's 7 games. He set a rookie record. 7 straight. His first 7 games in the NFL, he had over 100 scrimmage yards.
Well, Houston they've put a lot of points on the board these past few games against the Legion of Boom. Like I said, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas. I mean, they put up like 31
Again,
points.
You're basing it for one game.
Not one game.
I think he's really
This whole
good.
season they've put up a lot of points on the board, so he's done his job. It's the defense. I mean, J.J. Watt, they took a lot of injuries on defense. It's not his fault.
I think Richard Sherman that said that they've played against all the legends and Deshaun Watson stood out a lot to them, which is saying a lot for a rookie quarterback.
Right.
I think I give him the credit. He's playing really well, but still mid-season, Kareem Hunt set a rookie record. Has Deshaun Watson just set a rookie record for 19 touchdowns in his first 7 games, but Hunt 7 games, 100 scrimmage yards every game. It is a good debate, but I would give it to Kareem Hunt. I mean, his team's 6-2 and Texans are 3-4.
And it does help to have a powerful quarterback and great threats with the other defenses worried about the passing.
Yeah, I would say the Chiefs already were not taking nothing away from Kareem Hunt or Alex Smith, but they're already a really well-rounded offensive team.
Right.
Made the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like what Watson's doing with the Texans, with their status in the recent years is pretty amazing.
Right? Yeah, it is really amazing.
Should I say my Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, let's hear your Rookie of the Year.
All right, mid-season rookie. Yet again, I got another sleeper.
All right.
I got another sleeper.
Okay.
He may not be a sleeper now, but
He'll wake up.
yeah, he'll wake up. JUJU Smith-Schuster.
No way, bro.
Outta here.
Come on.
Let me
Out of here. He had 1 game.
Not just one. He's gonna JUJU on that beat all the way to the Rookie of the Year. Let's see, 424 yards receiving.
Whoa, that's crazy.
well,
That's crazy good, isn't it?
Among all rookies, he's first. Let's talk about receiving yards per game. First among rookies.
Name another rookie wide receiver that's contending with him.
I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm talking about.
There's nobody he's contending with almost nobody.
I'm talking about JUJU. I don't care about any other. Let's talk about first in touchdowns. 97-yard freaking receiving touchdown. Tell me one wide receiver that has one more than 97. That's special. Let me tell you something. That doesn't happen often.
Dude, if he
doesn't.
If he didn't have that
Doesn't
one,
happen
if he didn't
often.
have that one play, 97-yard touchdown,
Yeah,
he would have
he'd
ended
still
the
be
game with
first.
under 50 yards
He'd still be
receiving and
first.
no touchdown.
Still be first in yards, and he would have, say we have 3 touchdowns, still be first.
Yeah, because there's nobody else he's contending.
He comes in. What do you want? What do you want to say, Jonathan? Say it. Say what you want to say.
I mean, we talked about earlier how Kareem Hunt had a good team, but Schuster has a good receiving core with him. Antonio Brown, teams double team him, so that leaves Schuster open. So you call him the most valuable rookie of the year.
He has
so
a
far?
better
Come
quarterback
on.
than Alex Smith.
Actually, I think this is going in turn. I think it's a little early to say Schuster will get it, but there is some things going with the Martavis Bryant situation. If he's not playing and they are double teaming Antonio Brown, that could leave Schuster open to have a really good, strong second half of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's come in. He also didn't play 2 or 3 games this season, and he still puts up the stats. 4 touchdowns. That's more than Antonio Brown has. And also, what?
It doesn't matter about the touchdowns. It matters about the yards. It matters about the yards.
Doesn't matter about the yards. Don't get you points. The touchdowns do.
But the touchdowns are just. It could be like a 1-yard touchdown.
I
You
don't
just throw to
care.
him. It doesn't matter.
It
But
gives you
look at
6
the yards.
points.
You look at the yards.
It gets you 6 points. You could have freaking 5,000 receiving yards and no touchdowns. That's no value.
When you get to the end zone, you just run what the coach tells you to run.
Not the Seahawks. Seahawks didn't run the ball.
Ooh.
So
Yeah. The coach didn't tell him to run the ball. The coach told him to pass it. That's why they lost. It was the coach's fault. He even accepted the blame. But go ahead.
okay. Anyway, Juju Smith-Schuster, with the games that he's played, the minimum games that he's played, puts up number 1 stats as a rookie. You got to pick him. And Steelers have a diamond in the rough from where they picked him in the draft.
I think that he's going to be better in the future. But how would you argue Juju Smith-Schuster over Deshaun Watson or Kareem Hunt? I mean, for the best rookie wide receiver, I would give it to him with those stats. But how would you argue him against Hunt or Watson?
Right.
Okay, it's once again with Antonio Brown being MVP, you can't compare different positions. I mean, for me right now, wide receiver is a big impact to the team, and especially to the Steelers, who you take out Martavis Bryant, who they thought would have a big year. They thought he would be the number 2. They didn't think Juju, maybe he would be 3rd or 4th, but not a big impact. Maybe kick returning or punt returning. But the way he stepped up to the plate after Martavis Bryant degrades him as a football player, I mean, to come back and take the NFL by storm is baffling to me. I mean, he's going to keep it up. I believe that he will keep it up because of what Jonathan said. They're going to double team Brown. And now they're double teaming Brown, and Juju Smith is putting up these numbers. Why wouldn't you go to him? And also, if he starts getting good, now you're double teaming Schuster, and now Brown's open, a man-to-man. I mean, you have the perfect 2 wide receivers in the game right now, and it's going to impact the Steelers tremendously.
Okay, so back to my question. Deshaun Watson already set a rookie record. Kareem Hunt already set a rookie record. Why do you think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to or deserves the rookie of the year so far over those 2?
I don't know about records because I didn't look them up, but just the stats that he's put up as a wide receiver in the minimum games that he's had, it's incredible.
You've said he's taken the NFL by storm.
Yeah.
The only team he's taken over by storm were the Detroit Lions. That's it.
Oh, really? Because 424 yards receiving?
In total? Yeah.
In total, yeah.
Yeah.
That was his
Leader in
first
rookie.
game over 60 yards.
That was his first
Leader
game
in
over
receiving.
16 yards.
Come
4
on,
touchdowns
come on,
is
man.
more than
He had-
Brown.
if he didn't have that one game,
You could say that about everybody. If Deshaun didn't have the one Seahawks game.
if Kareem Hunt has been doing good every game, so you can't really
But he's
take.
declining.
I mean, I think it's hard to argue
He's
against Watson and Kareem Hunt right now, but I think there is a really good argument that you made the point that with Martavis Bryant out, it could be a really good pickup in your fantasy teams to get Schuster having be the number 2 on the
did.
Steelers. I did see that.
I did pick him up.
Which I say was smart. I don't know enough stats to say that he's the mid-season rookie right now, but definitely he could be really good. I mean, it's really in his hands with the Martavis Bryant situation.
For wide receiver, he's the best rookie wide receiver by far.
I agree with that.
I can't think of anyone else. So.
We'll have to wait and see.
All right, so now it's time for our lock and upset. Okay, so first, lock and upset. Lock picking a team that has a better record. Upset picking the team that has the worst record. So I heard Jared might make a pick for tomorrow night's game. You want to start us off?
Yeah, so for Thursday night game, we got the Battle of New York Jets versus Buffalo Bills. For me, I love Buffalo Bills right now. I love what they're doing. I love what they did in trade deadline. But the Jets are going to ruin all the fun.
What did you just say?
The Jets are going to ruin all the fun. They're going to deflate the Bills on Thursday.
They're going to pull a Tom Brady.
On short rest, any team is vulnerable. And the Bills right now are vulnerable. You know, you get the high of getting Calvin Benjamin.
They're on a winning streak.
On a winning streak. I didn't say they're horrible.
No, vulnerable.
Yeah, vulnerable.
Like
With a short week. With
like the bubble will pop. Like there's too many wins. You know, eventually.
It's too good to be true.
No, vulnerable meaning short. With
They're
short
tired.
weeks with Thursday games and short rest, any good team is
so
vulnerable.
if the Patriots played the 49ers tomorrow,
Right.
I think that
No, I
anything
think-
could happen.
I honestly think when upsets that happen are on Thursday because of the short rest. It just throws everything off for the players, for the coaches. It's just a tough situation for them. And back to my pick, I will pick the New York Jets to beat the Buffalo Bills on Thursday night. Not saying this would ruin Buffalo's season at all. I'm just picking the Jets as an upset. I like the way they're playing. They're playing hard. They're playing with a lot of fight, and I did not think they'd be at this point in the season.
And what is your lock for this week?
Why don't you go? Because I didn't pick any.
All right, so I'll go with my lock. The Saints are going to win against the Buccaneers at home. The Saints and Drew Brees play very well at home. Jameis Winston hasn't been playing well, and he's questionable with a shoulder injury. I see this being an easy win for the Saints. And my upset, listen to this, folks. The 7-1 Eagles are about to go 7-2 because Brock Osweiler is in at quarterback for the Denver Broncos.
You said it last week?
Last week, I called it. Simeon is not good enough. They better put Osweiler in. And what did you two say? You guys said, nope, it's the offensive line. It's the offensive line. Did you watch the game? Simeon had 3 interceptions. Did you see the plays he made? Running out to his right, and he threw it across. Only Brett
I had
Favre can
homework
make
too,
that.
so I didn't watch the
Yeah,
game.
but it was pitiful. I saw it. It was
Oh, it was
pitiful.
pitiful. Brock Osweiler, this Denver Broncos team plays well under him, and he is going to beat the Eagles and throw at least 2 touchdowns. Let's go.
All right. That's pretty bold. Okay.
Settle down,
That's
boy.
a bold statement right
Settle
there.
down.
All right. Well, for me, my upset is the Cowboys are going to
Oh,
beat
come
the
on.
Kansas City Chiefs.
With Alfred Morris.
It doesn't matter who's in the backfield. We're going to surprise the world. The Cowboys O-line with Dak, I think, and our defense is improving. We're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They're in for a real treat. My lock. Okay. I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Redskins. The Eagles demolished the Redskins, and the Cowboys beat them even more. So I think the Redskins are in for a real beating because the team is obviously not that good.
You just said that the Eagles killed the Redskins, and now you think that the Seahawks are better than the Eagles, that's why they'll win?
I think the Seahawks defense is better than the Eagles.
They just gave
defense.
up 38 points to the Texans,
Well, they gave up 38 points to Deshaun Watson.
and that's a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson is pretty good.
So, and Kirk Cousins has experience.
But Deshaun Watson's playing really well. Kirk Cousins hasn't played really well. Against Cowboys last week, he played terrible. As
I
you can
agree.
recall.
I agree with your pick.
So, yeah.
I don't think it'll be as dramatic as you think, like 50-0.
I mean,
but
no, but they'll get beat.
yeah,
they'll get beat.
Okay.
I'll be quick with mine. I think if it's the Bills or Jets, in contrast to Jared, I think the Bills have it. They're on a hot streak, and they've been building in a way, and they're really looking to improve this season. And I think they could be making a playoff run, but this is an important game for them. But I think they have it on lock. My upset I would pick isn't a huge difference, but it is an important game for both teams being in the NFC South. I would pick Atlanta over the Panthers. Both teams have been kind of sputtering offensively in terms of the whole team dynamic, but this is an important game, and I think the Falcons are going to walk away with it.
Good choices. Jared, you got your lock?
Okay. My lock. You're not gonna like this, John. But my lock is Todd Gurley and the LA Rams coming into MetLife and just putting a beating on the Giants. Absolutely demolishing the Giants, and Gurley's gonna run for 300 yards.
Are you insane?
And I'm gonna beat Jonathan in fantasy because of Todd Gurley's day. He's gonna have a field day, I tell you.
The Giants are not good against running backs. They gave up 30 fantasy points to Melvin Gordon.
Good Lord.
This is how we measure things, fantasy points. But the Giants, the Rams and the Giants both had a bye, and they're both coming out of the bye, and the Giants are at home. The Giants held Denver to 3 points. Yes, Denver's offense isn't that great, but I see this being a closer game than you think. But the Rams are definitely going to win this.
I respect that.
Jared thinks he's going to beat me in fantasy this week. To be honest, I don't mind him having this win because he needs it. He's like the Cleveland Browns out here. He's
So you're just going to give him a win?
I mean,
you can't just let him have a win.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I wouldn't mind because he needs the win. He's like,
hey, I got 2 wins. I'm not the Cleveland Browns. I'm like the Jets or something.
He's making fun of Jared.
Yeah.
He just picked the Jets in an upset. He's picking himself.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I got nothing to lose.
Yeah, my fantasy week's gone. So many, like half my team's gone.
You got
for the
Brady,
bye
Gronk,
week.
Gordon, Brown, all on
gone.
buys. I
Yeah.
have an easy win this week. Let's go.
Any given Sunday. Any given Sunday. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Dorm Debate. Thank you for joining us. We'll be here next week. Thanks for listening. Hope your team wins.
That's a good one. I like that.
Go Cowboys.
All right. Thanks, guys.